We can only help ourselves if you want to take it from the top. And helping the other one, you're only helping yourself. There only is yourself in the end, you'll see. And looking at the separation, each one is fully responsible for what happens to him or to her. I can't help you one iota. It's only in appearance that I'm helping you. If you get any help, you do it. You'll listen to what he says and you'll say, oh, I like that and I'm going to use that. But you do it. No one can help you. And if no one can help you, no one can hurt you. That's also nice to know. All right, I'll give it to you from the top. Before ye ask, believe that ye have already received. The way the Bible puts it. When we pray, if we know that our prayers are already answered, so it is. Whatever we want would be ours instantaneously. If you've got that much faith in God, your prayer will be answered immediately. If we haven't got that much faith, then we must do our best. Pray how you best know how to pray. Now, the one prayer that we should have above all other prayers is to pray for wisdom. The mind is only creative. It creates what we hold in mind. And it doesn't recognize the word not or no. If I don't want to think of a monkey, I'm only thinking of a monkey. If I do not want to be sick, if I do not want an accident, I am thinking of accident and tending to create it. So instead of thinking of no accident, we must think of safety. Instead of thinking of sickness, we must think of health. This is the greatest weakness in so-called demonstration. People think in negatives. They don't want this and they don't want that, and that's what they create. So we must think only what we want, never what we do not want. And if we would think only what we want, that is all we would ever get. It's as simple as all that. It's not easy, but it's simple. If we would think only what we want, that is all and everything that we would get. Karma is the automatic behavior. Karma is past habits. Karma is our unconscious mind, etc., etc. Being infinite beings, we can transcend karma. It's impossible to work out karma, because as you are working out one act, you're creating a similar act for the future. By its very definition, it's impossible to work out karma. Every act now creates an act in the future. So while we're trying to work out all the past action, we're creating action for the future. So it's impossible to work out karma. Karma works for the ego. Karma is a law for the ego. Once we know who and what we are, karma does not operate. Karma does not exist. Someday we get to the point where we see this, and we just step out and above karma, and it is no more. But you see, these things are so simple if you'll look at it from the top. I use the word from the top. Anytime we reason, we should always start reasoning with truth, with a true statement. Then everything is simple. As statements of truth, we may take God is all. God is perfect. Start reasoning from there and see where your troubles are. They'll disappear. They have to. But when we start with the truth, everything is simple. If it's complex, it's wrong. If it's complex, it's steeped in the realm of ego. The greater the ego, the greater the complexity. God is simple, the ego is complex. Karma is created in our thought. The action is just an aftermath of thought. It's impossible for you to commit any act without a thought of it prior to it, right? The karma is created in the thought. It's the thoughts we take with us, it's not the acts. The act is gone through and finished, but the thought remains. In the era that we're in, it's called the Kali Yuga, it's a low period. The majority of people are in the tamasic, or in the state of lethargy. It looks like a very peaceful, docile state when one is in there. It's a state of apathy. The rajas, the energetic state, is much higher. When we start to move into that energetic state, we begin to express these subconscious desires and wishes. And so they come out, and we seem to be getting worse, whereas before we were thinking it unconsciously. Now we want to carry it out. We want to hit somebody. We're angry. We start fighting. And it looks as though we're going in a wrong direction. But it is a higher state. Arjuna did not want to fight. He was told he had to fight. If you can't fight, you must fight. If you can't fight, you don't have to fight. Is the way it comes out. If you can fight, you're already moving above the state of rajas, the energetic state, and you're moving into the sattvic, the spiritually peaceful state. And when you're moving toward that spiritually peaceful state, you're able to fight, but you don't want to, and so you don't. So when you move up out of the lethargy state, it looks as though your character sometimes is becoming worse. It isn't. You're just expressing more, and it's showing what before was unconscious. An anger mood is a higher mood than the mood of apathy. The highest mood is that of peace, bliss. And there's all degrees between those three states. A fully realized master, a Jesus, or any master to whom you look to, it's possible to keep his company all the time. You can learn that positively by testing it out. These masters are omnipresent. They are right where we are all the time. They are readily contacted. They're not difficult to contact because they are pushing toward us much more than we are pushing toward them. but we must open ourselves to it. We must make the contact. So the very best of holy company would be a fully realized being. Next best would be a saint, and so forth on down. Coming down to everyday life, it would be people who are on the path with us. People who think the way we think. But the very best is the highest. The highest can be contacted, not with people, but when you're by yourself. Therefore, the more you can be by yourself,